NATO summit is underway in Lithuania. President Biden is touting the landmark agreement, allowing Sweden to become the 32nd member of the alliance. Biden says NATO is stronger than ever in the face of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But Ukrainian President Zelensky is pressuring the alliance to let his country join. ABC News' Inez de la Cortara joins me now from Vilnius, Lithuania, with more. And as National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says, the U.S. is coming into NATO with a full head of steam, in his words, after the announcement that Sweden will join the alliance. How important is this agreement, and how did we get here?
Hey, good morning, Diane. Yeah, this agreement is really the big headline out of today. And in fact, the NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg is saying that the summit is already historic because of this announcement. This is NATO showing force and unity, with Turkey announcing last night that it would drop its objections and allow for Sweden to join the alliance. When it comes to this back and forth between Sweden and Turkey, it had to do with the fact that all NATO member states must unanimously agree to any newcomer to the alliance. And when it comes to Sweden, Turkey was accusing Sweden of harboring Kurdish militants, which Turkey views as terrorists. So Turkey was asking for Sweden to do more to crack down on those militants. Turkey had been blocking Sweden's membership bid for close to a year, but Turkey does seem to be happy with the progress that has been made. And yesterday, as President Biden was landing in Lithuania, they did announce that they would drop their objections. So that is a huge deal. We should point out the U.S. did play a role here, with the U.S. president hosting the Swedish prime minister at the White House last week. Biden also calling the Turkish President Erdogan over the weekend on Sunday. And we know later today, Biden will also be meeting with Erdogan.
What's the reaction from Russia?
Yes, it'll be really interesting to see the reaction from Russia. This is going to have some major geopolitical implications when it comes to the Baltic Sea. Sweden joining, with Finland also joining. That means that that entire region will essentially be NATO territory. And so that's going to severely restrict Russia's naval power in the region. It's going to have implications also for the Turkey-Russia relationship. Turkey has really tried to walk a fine line here. It has stood with NATO and the West when it comes to the war in Ukraine, but it's also tried not to completely alienate Russia. So they have, for instance, not imposed any official sanctions on Russia. So it'll be interesting to see how this, how Turkey clearing the way for Sweden to join NATO will affect that relationship. And as far as the Russian reaction, we did hear from the Russian foreign minister today, who said that adequate steps were going to be taken in connection to Sweden and Finland's accession. It's not yet clear what those steps are, but all eyes to see what Russia does next.
And the NATO summit, and as it's expected to center on continued aid for Ukraine, President Biden will also meet with Ukraine's President Zelensky in their third face-to-face meeting so far this year. What can we expect from that side of things?
That'll be a fascinating meeting. Yeah, we did get confirmation both from White House officials and from President Zelensky himself that he was on his way to this summit. Ukraine has been pushing to join NATO. They've been pushing to join NATO now for a year. This all began, that talk of Ukraine joining NATO started in 2008, but it wasn't until Russia's invasion of Ukraine that Zelensky really started pushing for it. And even though Ukraine agrees that now might not be the time because of the war in Ukraine, Ukraine does want to see a specific timeline. And Zelensky just moments ago putting out a statement saying he wasn't happy with the discussions that are being had without Ukraine. He says uncertainty is weakness, and he wants to see more from NATO.
All right, Inez de la Cortara at the NATO summit in Lithuania. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.